Some of the most useful item cards in Wiz come from amulets, and they are an important part of playing support. I put together a list of some amulets I recommend for utility spells or helping buff your team. I use several of them myself. All of them are any school, meaning everyone can use them, and quite a few are available in the Bazaar. I'll go through them from lowest to highest level. Let's start with the Jewel of the Feint. True to its name, it gives you a Feint item card, and it is the 75/20 version. This will stack with the regular Feint, the treasure card, and the pet version. You can get it in the Bazaar if you see it. It also drops from a few bosses and fishing chests in Celestia, as well as from the Tower of the Elephant dungeon in Wisteria. The Charm of the Black Pearl gives you a Dark Pact item card, although it is soon to be changed to Dark Tribute. The new version of this spell will take 5% of your health in exchange for 2 35% balance blades. The blade is very useful, but it will no longer clear weaknesses, so I assume that this is going to become more of a support spell than a blade for yourself. The 5% cut of your health will ignore any shields and resist, so you might want to pay a bit closer attention if you aren't going to heal during a fight. You can get this amulet in the Bazaar or from a couple bosses in Wintertusk. There is also an equivalent amulet that you can craft. It's called the Raven's Shadow Necklace, and you get the recipe from Ingolf the Grower in Vesterland. You'll see the theme that there are multiple ways to get the same item card, so it's really up to your preference. A very useful utility spell to have is Shatter All. You can get this item card from the Amulet of Unweaving or the Torc of Hidden Wisdom. Both are available in the Bazaar, but Unweaving is available at level 52 and Wisdom is available at level 72. Unweaving is the more expensive one, and I see a lot more of Wisdom available in the Bazaar at any given time. There were 94 available when I filmed this, so you really don't need to farm for it if you're able to use it at your level. If you're under level 72, there is also a craftable equivalent called the Smashing Claw Charm. You get the recipe from the same Vesterland vendor. If you want a Bladestorm item card, you could use the Wyrm's Bite Amulet or the House of Plague Greenstone. Like before, these two are equivalent, just available at different levels, 56 versus 82. They both also come with a minus 25% Plague item card. You can get both in the Bazaar, and like before, the lower level version is much more expensive. One of my personal favorite amulets is the Witch's Star Necklace. You get a 30% balance blade and a 35% hex trap. I run this on my lower level wizards when I'm supporting a max character, like if a friend is helping me quest. You can buff anyone, and it's also great to have if your wizard is squishier, meaning you don't have as much health or resist and you don't want to take added damage from feints. This amulet is drop only, and you can get it from the final dungeon of Wintertusk called Nastrand. In my experience, the drop rate is good, so hopefully you won't have to farm for long. On the topic of universal blades, the Dragonblade is very useful. It applies 35% damage to any hit and is technically a different spell than the Balance Blade, so you can stack them. There's a set of amulets with the Dragonblade item card available in Azteca. They come with an additional spell, such as Bad Juju and Detonate, which is very useful if you're an off-school and you can't learn them through training points. Bad Juju is great for the Devourer fight, for example. You get the recipe to craft these amulets from Yakshay in Cloudburst Forest. You can also get a Sharpened Blade item card. The Jewel of the Apiary gives you one plus a 30% balance blade. It's available in the Bazaar. I also recommend the Broodmother's Lavalliere. It gives you an elemental blade, a spirit blade, and a sharpen. This is super versatile as you don't have to swap your amulet depending on the school of your hitter. You get this amulet from Santa Muerta in Chrysalis, either in the galleries or in Conda Desert. The Conda Desert one is a straightforward fight, however I farmed for this amulet many times and everyone I was with got it except for me, so I hope you get their luck and not mine. If you're looking for a Potent Trap item card instead, I recommend the Black Light Medallion. It also gives you a 30% balance blade. This amulet is very expensive at 115,000 gold, so you might need to save up beforehand. You can buy it from Brendan Dreaming City, who is the amulet vendor in Chrysalis. Another spell I like to have is the 315 damage version of the Epic Enchant. There are a lot of amulets from Mirage with this card, usually with a blade for your school, but there is a version with a balance blade instead. It's called the Eerem Courtier's Talisman, and its twin, the Sandsea Wanderer's Charm. One is level 116 and the other is level 118. 315 is the highest damage enchant amount, as the regular epic is 300. It's nice to have an added boost for your spells, as well as if you need to buff someone else in a fight. You can buy these amulets from Azula Salib in Caravan. If you don't want to spend the gold, you can also get Sansi as a reward when you complete the quest, The Serpentine Science. If you find yourself up against a boss who loves to remove blades, you might want to get an amulet with a protected blade storm. You can get a couple from Caramel, and they're called the Candymancer rope set. There are 2 versions, Wunderbar and Umbra. It really doesn't matter which one you get, they both have the same 5% resist. Here I have Umbra, and I like to wear this amulet while farming King Boar since he likes to cast Earthquake. And of course, this list would not be complete without the Mass Hex amulet. This spell applies a 35% trap to all enemies and is super helpful for late game questing and farming. Thankfully for us non-balanced wizards, you no longer have to craft the Catacombs hat to get this spell. The amulet is called the Old Judge Talisman, and it's available at 3 different levels under slightly different names. The Lemurian version is level 142 and up, the Hierarch version is 145, and the Supreme is 148. Here I have the Supreme version. All of them can be bought in the Bazaar, and they are also dropped from a variety of mobs and bosses in Lemuria. They don't show up super often in the Bazaar, but they do sell for quite a bit, so be on the lookout. Finally, as a bonus, I wanted to show you guys the Lightkeeper's Beam spell. It provides a different buff depending on what school you are. If you are a Life, Storm, or Death Wizard, everyone on your team will receive a 25% Universal Damage Blade. If you are Myth, Ice, or Fire, you will place a 25% Universal Trap on all enemies. Balanced Wizards get both a 15% Blade and a 15% Trap. You can get this item card from the Umbra Queen amulets, and there is a level 100 and a level 170 version. The level 170 version drops from the Mithraya rematch, and the level 100 is crafted from reagents dropped from the rematch. You can also get this item card from the Wallaroo Wastelander pack amulets. These are technically not any school, but there is one for every school, and they are all basically identical. I don't see this spell used very much, but I think it is pretty neat. You get decent resist, and the buffs are stackable with others, so you might like it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you recommend any amulets I didn't cover in this video, feel free to drop them in the comments.